Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sportsbook Review's coverage of a gripping Serie A season. I'm your host, Martin Green. I have our Italian expert, Tancredi Palmeri, alongside me, wearing his Italy shirt. We've had a 2-week break from domestic football, so we're very excited to return. But Tan, you're in your Italy shirt. They couldn't quite win the Nations League, but third place is pretty good, considering the summer they've already had.
It was good considering before the summer we had. After, but you can't always win. But I have to tell you, the biggest highlight is this shirt, because this is the shirt of the Euro 2020, and it is completely sold out in Italy since already 3 months. It's very hard even to order it on internet. I could find it on the official shop of UEFA on ground outside San Siro before the semi-final, and they had these like 48 euros. And I thought, wait a second, that can't be. So I went there and said, sorry, are those original? And why 48? I said, oh, it's the last one we had on stock, so we have put it with special price. I'm going to buy 5. In the end, I bought only 1. But anyway, this is the best highlight of this Nations League.
And what did you make of Italy's performance? It was tough against Spain, wasn't it? But they played pretty well against Belgium.
Look, Spain was much better than us. And Spain already was very good in the semi-final at the Euros. Possibly they were more hungry than us. And that maybe made the difference. But anyway, they were missing so many players. And they were playing so good. Italy probably wasn't that brilliant. But I think it was more deserving what Spain did. Like, it's not about Italy, it's about how good Spain has been. In my opinion, they are the proper winner of the competition. Then, obviously, France won, but very, very debatable that offside made legal by referees. But Spain, my opinion, is going with being one of the favorites for the World Cup.
Indeed. They dominate possession in every game they play. They're a difficult team to play against. But I did think France were pretty good on the break. Although, like you say, very, very lucky with that goal from Kylian Mbappe. Hello to everyone on the chat. We've got Mohammed, we've got Sean, we've got Irish John. Hello to Lyle. Hello to Anderson and Rude Boy and Lyle and King Petrelli and Barca Man. Hi guys. Yeah, everyone's wondering where Alex is. So yeah, there's normally 3 of us, and we're currently down to 2. Alex did a heartfelt Twitter post, so you can go and check that out over the weekend. He's gone basically. He's working on some other projects. Yeah, Tan feels like his heart has been ripped out. Our collective heart is bleeding all over the place. Yeah, I'm very sad about it too. But yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to do next. I'm not sure if he's doing things with Flash. That's one of the transfer rumors. But he's currently a bit the agent, so I think he's waiting for the highest bidder. Newcastle was said to be involved. PSG with Flash, yeah, maybe Barca Man. But we're all still very good friends with Alex, and I'm sure it's not the last we've seen.
Who is bidding more beers is taking Alex with him. And I can say this without Alex being able to reply, and that feels good. Feels good because he has to cash in the joke. He will watch this and he can't reply. Ciao.
Yeah. No more reverse jinxing. No more reverse jinxing. But thank you to King Petrelli, who's saying it feels like a month without you guys. Much love back to you in Kenya, and Quasi. Good, much love in Ghana too. Great to have you all here from all over the world. We made some good profit before the international break. It was a great weekend for all 3 of us actually. So we're doing very well. Let's hope we can keep the momentum going. Give us a thumbs up.
What is the record at the moment of the 3 of us? And we know that Alex will freeze on that position, and we will see in the end if freezed Alex did better than us. What was what is the record at the moment?
Let me just get it for you here.
While while you get the record, please appreciate, as Italy and Albania are almost it's almost brotherhood. Appreciate my personal Albania shirt of Tancredi, sent by Albania Football Federation, Football Association. Was not my initiative. Sorry, it was just for my ego to show it.
That is very impressive, Tan. I think we're looking at about, what, 9? We're about 6.5 units, 7 units in profit in total.
In total, but how it is split?
Well, I'm afraid to say, Tan, you're on minus 2.4 after last week, apparently.
In Serie A?
Apparently. I'm on 3.84 and Alex was on 5.94.
In Serie A, I'm minus 2?
Apparently. I'll check it.
I asked to recount. Because I had some madness that is absolutely impossible. As Black Mamba is saying, Tancredi, God of predictions, take us to the promised land. How can you say minus 2? Obviously, you must be wrong, because God is how do you say, infallible?
Yeah.
Unfailable?
Yep.
By definition, so there must be some mistake in the counting. Obviously.
We'll do a recount and we'll give you all of Alex's units of profit as well. We'll move forward.
I'll take over the Alex. I will start to talk Romanian, so you will not feel Mr. Alex, okay?
Okay.
Tancredi.
Okay, so we're going to start with Spezia versus Salernitana.
Yeah, so do you know that you will watch this game? No, you won't watch this game. I know that you won't. Anyway, the good thing of this is that it's the game that is opening the weekend of Serie A. So the only matter of interest is like, oh, finally, club football is back. What's the first game? Spezia Salernitana. Okay, it will be enough for even Spezia Salernitana. Salernitana struggling always, doing everything, even traveling. It's a matter of struggle for Salernitana. And Spezia, which is trained by former Barcelona and Inter legend Thiago Motta, actually are doing better than they are supposed to. They were unlucky against Milan, against Juventus. I believe that frustration of not getting anything from that game will help them in these two, while Salernitana main asset is when they play at home, the home factor, I would say, the home support. Plus, they will miss Ribéry, who has an injury shoulder, injury to the shoulder. So the odds are quite good enough on Spezia to not complicate it. So just Spezia to win.
Just a straight Spezia win. Yeah, I mean, you can get better than even money. You get plus money on a Spezia win. So that does look appealing, especially when you consider that Salernitana have lost 5 out of 7 so far. It's a real relegation battle, isn't it? If you had to say, I know it's difficult right now, Tan, but if you had to sort of say who's going to be relegated, who are you looking at? Obviously Salernitana, I guess, but who might go down with them?
Okay, you want to know my future? I hate those who change the futures, the prediction, the season prediction every month or every time that there is, oh, now he's injured, oh, now the table. So I'll tell you what was my future for Serie A at the beginning of the season. I have my file since 2011 about all the league since a while. So my futures on Italy was Juventus to be champions. Might be that I am already wrong. I don't know, but anyway. Champions League for Juve, Inter, Roma and Atalanta. Might be that it will be very wrong.
Yeah.
Europa League for Napoli and Milan. Might be that I'm very wrong.
Yeah.
Conference League for Fiorentina. Maybe here I was right.
That sounds good.
And relegations, I said Verona, Venezia, and Salernitana. Now, Venezia and Salernitana, I think it won't change. these predictions only I keep for myself the right to change them after the January window. So I believe that Verona with Empoli, Udinese, and Spezia and Genoa, they are very level. So those 5 teams, even one transfer in or out, can change the situation. My opinion.
I must say I've been quite impressed with Verona so far. They're quite an ambitious team. Seem to be involved in quite a lot of high-scoring games. So maybe they'll be okay. But yeah, I can see Salernitana. I can see Venezia being sucked into it. But there you go. Next up, we have Lazio versus Inter. This is a really big game between two heavyweights of Italian football. We've got Simone Inzaghi going back to Lazio, where he was manager for 5 seasons. Didn't win Serie A, but did a reasonably good job there at times. Moved to Inter, didn't inherit quite as strong a squad as Antonio Conte had, but he's made a strong start to proceedings at Inter. Lazio, a bit of a damaging defeat, wasn't it, before the international break with Immobile missing. But who do you think is going to come out in top in this battle, Tam? We've got Sarri versus Inzaghi. Immobile perhaps going to be back from injury?
Probably, yes. There are many factors to consider. A lot you mentioned. Immobile should be back. Lazio are not reliable as it seemed at the beginning. They are able to lose 3-0 to Bologna after winning the derby, after losing badly against Milan. It's really like the sinusoid. Do you say sinusoid in English? The sinusoid of Lazio is going up and down, like a roller coaster.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah, and the performance of what Sarri is trying to get to his team got everything to do with that. Inter actually are performing good, but they are missing the killing instinct they are missing the killing instinct in this. They did it against Atalanta. They did it against Sampdoria. So I would say that you should also consider that the Argentinian of Inter, well, the South American players, also the Uruguayan, also the not Brazilian because they don't have, the Argentinian, the Chilean, will always come very late from the South American qualifiers. Imagine that the Argentinians will arrive only 24 hours, will land in Italy 24 hours before the kickoff. Yeah, and the main person we are talking about here is Lautaro Martinez. Yeah. Because they couldn't do less of Vecino, of Vidal, of Alexis Sanchez. I would say even of the big X of this game, Correa, but not of Lautaro Martinez. It is rumored that Simone Inzaghi is considering whether to play Perisic or Çalhanoğlu up front with Dzeko. So to save energy for Lautaro, because then they have very important Champions League game and they can't absolutely fail that, considering what happened in the first 2 games. It's very leveled. It's very leveled, and Inter are missing this killing instinct. So I would say that both will concede, because anyway they have some defensive problems. Lazio got huge defensive problems. Inter less, but it's hard for them to shut the door. Even against Parma in the last round before the international break, they went down and then they had a comeback. They always concede once at least. So they will concede at least both teams to score. And I would say, what is in my tipster plan that I gave you? Did I say Alex Classic or I just stick to both teams to score?
You went for the draw.
I went for a draw. It's a draw with goals. So if you feel like that you want even to pump up that, I would say goal with goals. Draw with goals. Draw obviously is much more tipped, and it's missing that killing instinct to Italy, to Inter. And I would say that for Lazio, look, after losing 3-0 to Bologna, they have to be more careful, a bit more careful. For sure, they will think about that game. So, yeah, so draw and with goals.
Yeah, I think Lazio have got defensive problems, even with perhaps Martinez missing from this game. I still think that Inter are going to get on the score sheet in this one. But Inter don't look as solid defensively to me since Inzaghi took over from Conte either. So I can definitely see Lazio getting on the score sheet in this one. I'm definitely leaning towards Inter to win, perhaps Inter and over 2.5 goals. But I've gone for the Alex Classic in this game. I think we're going to see an open and entertaining one. I think both teams to score has paid off in about 5 of 7 of each of these teams' matches so far. There's a lot of chat
Will
on
Alex get angry because we are saying Alex Classic?
That's what I was just going to come on to. A lot of the people on the chat are saying, can we still say Alex Classic? I think we can still say Alex Classic. It's like when a famous player retires and you retire their shirt. So
yeah, but he didn't retire. He moved to another team. That's a we don't know which one will be. But maybe we should do a time of transition from Alex Classic to both time to score and over 2.5 goals. Where everybody, a time of transition where everybody then will know that it's Alex Classic, like when Maradona retired and said, "Oh look, he's doing the penalty kick or the foul, the free kick like Maradona," but Maradona was not playing there anymore. But that is slowly fading away. So a bit step by step, we are fading out from that.
Okay, well, step by step, but I think we can still have the Alex Classic for a little while yet. What we need is a Tang Classic. What do we think the Tang Classic could be?
We have the Tang Madness.
Okay,
and actually,
I think we've got some. I think we've got some Tang Madness coming on this.
Yes, indeed. You know when? I think actually exactly in the next game. Not the one entitled to call it. It's your call, but I think. I don't know.
Okay. Well, on that note, let's move on to AC Milan versus Verona. Should be another exciting game. Milan top of the second in the table, 6 wins and a draw from 7 games so far. Verona, like we said, unbeaten in 4 matches. Don't travel particularly well, Tan, but they've been a stubborn opponent to play against recently, and you've got a madness for us in this game.
And we are talking about that. The Tank Madness is here. The Tank Madness. Exactly, because for how good Milan are playing and for how high is their season so far, they are having anyway a lot of injury issues. The latest are that they will miss their goalkeeper Maignan for the next 2 months and a half, and he will be replaced by Tataruceanu, the Romanian backup. But actually, as their third keeper is also injured until for what stays of the year, then they had to sign Mirante, former Roma keeper that was unemployed. So that's how in trouble is their situation. And Maignan actually was performing very good. And if it wasn't enough yet, they will miss also, at least for the next 3 games, also Theo Hernandez. So that's it for Milan lately, and also for France, as we saw, because he got COVID. Now, Verona, since Igor Tudor took over the job, as you said, 4 games without losing. But anyway, performing always on top. They have beaten Roma. They had great comeback. And I think this form, this shape is lasting. Don't know for how long. But this international break helped them to not give everything. So they will go there against Milan, well rested, while all the Milan players were away on international break. All well rested, all pumped up. Milan will have the support of San Siro. But anyway, will, I would say, suffer this fear of all these injuries and this uncertainty. So, to Milan, it happened already against Spezia, against Venezia, Against Spezia, we got the tank madness that was a draw at the halftime and Milan to win at the full time. And that's why I think the recount of the record must be done, because it must be some mistake. But anyway, I think it's going to happen exactly the same thing. Milan will struggle because Verona can be tough when they close behind. But then some way, maybe thanks to Brahim Diaz, will come out in the second half. So tank madness, blow half time, Milan to win full time.
Like it. I'm glad you suggested that. I'd already gone for Milan and under 4.5 goals. I got -105 on that, but I was considering throwing in a Milan half-time full-time as well, because I know they're pretty strong in the first half. But now that you've said that, that's definitely put me off that bet, and I'm sticking with my Milan and under 4.5 goals. Let's just see what's going on in the chat. I think Ibra's going for Milan to win 1-0. Sounds interesting. But Barcaman's got Milan win and both teams to score at 3.05. And also going for the old A classic, as we're now referring to it. Sounds good, guys. Okay, and thanks for the Tam Madness. We've got big odds on that one. We're going to read out our official picks at the end, but we must move on. We're going to go to Cagliari versus Sampdoria. Cagliari on the table. 0 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats from 7 games thus far. It has not been a good start to the season for Cagliari, but Tan, you don't have them in your pre-season relegation tips. Do you think they're going to be okay over the course of the campaign?
They are surprising a lot. They are surprising a lot because they are not underperforming, under the underperforming. And they already have replaced the manager. And actually, they hired Mazzarri, former Watford manager, and Inter and Napoli. And look, honestly, everybody thought they would get something more because Mazzarri is not playing sexy, but at least he's getting results. Now, not even that. I don't know where this is going. It looks bad. It looks bad, though, for Cagliari. They will be very, very careful because they are deadly scared of what's happening game in, game out. These this fear they have will affect the approach of the game, and Sampdoria will find a pretty tight rival. So maybe not that interesting game at the beginning, at least. So I go with draw at the halftime.
Okay, sounds interesting. Yeah, nothing immediately grabbed me on this game. I would definitely be leaning towards Sampdoria out of the two. I think they've got better quality within their ranks, but they were struggling a bit before the international break too. What do you think in terms of a general trend, Tan? Do you think we're going to see some more cagier games or a bit slower in the first half, seeing as the players might be a bit fatigued, or a bit others that didn't go on international duty might be a bit rusty, not played for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, but no, I don't think so. Well, it's all in favor of Cagliari, this international duty. There aren't many on international duty among the two, first of all. It's in favor of Cagliari because Mazzarri never had the time to work properly on his team. And they will all be pumped up, but I think they are afraid of performing, and Sampdoria will go there pretty careless. So the best thing that could happen to the game is Sampdoria to score the first goal, because that will open the game. But I think, yes, KG in the first half, and then things can happen.
Okay. Barcaman and Ibra looking at Sampdoria for this one. Just quickly, Tan, Black Mamba wants to know, how about Verona +2?
Verona +2? What does it mean exactly, Verona +2?
So Verona to lose by, no more than 1 goal.
Yeah, of course, means that. I think it's a very good one. Meanwhile, I'm getting a news from my colleague correspondent at Milan, saying at Milan team, saying that Ibrahimovic today joined for the first time the training with the group after quite some weeks.
Oh,
so
wow.
maybe not for this game, but he should be back for the Champions League game against Porto.
That's good. They've got a lot of good young forwards, though, haven't they? Brahim Diaz, Rafael Leao, Salamakers. Rebic has been very good recently. Lots of pace, lots of good technical players going forward. I've been impressed by them in attack. Okay, Udinese versus Bologna. Must admit, this is another clear pass from me. Udinese are a team I can't quite work out. Bologna, I don't know, I feel like they're a bit inconsistent, Tan. I've seen Bologna play really well at times this season, and then every time I get excited about them, they let me down.
Yeah, it's very tricky. I would say that these are the two trickiest team to bet on this season. This, in my opinion, is the typical game that got two ways: 0-0 or a load of goals. Taking the 0-0.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. We're back. Can you hear us? Can everyone hear us? I hope you Hassan says it's okay, Martin. We still love you. Thank you. Thank you, Hassan. And Anderson Don saying, Esteban! Come on, Esteban! Okay, we are back. Apologies for the technical problems that we've had there. I'm told that they have now been fixed. Asking to go back to Udinese from the start, says Hassan. Basically, there's nothing that we really like in this game because they're both very inconsistent teams. But Tan came up with a brilliant one called the artist formerly known as Alex Classic.
And I said this is the typical game that is finishing whether 0-0 or with a lot of goals. But considering they are back from the international duty, from the international break, possibly they won't have this attitude for 0-0. And so I would say, let's go with goals. So the artist formerly known as Alex Classic.
I like that. Yeah, I think these two teams are very inconsistent, and it really could go either way. This is a hard pass for me. But Hassan really likes Bologna. They were very, very impressive before the international break. Irish John says that Alex is up to something, getting involved in the sound issues. But no, honestly, we love Alex. We've got a great relationship with Alex. I'm sure we're gonna do something with him again in future. So no worries there. Okay. We're moving on to Genoa versus Sassuolo. Now, Genoa also really, really struggling this season. Just one win from 7 games. But Sassuolo haven't had a good start to the season either. Only 2 points ahead of them. And they haven't been banging in the goals like they normally are, Tan. I know they lost a couple of key players and stuff. what's going wrong for Sassuolo this season?
It's very strange. The new manager is very hyped. He was supposed to be, and he's still supposed to be like the Zerbi was, but since he's not getting yet what he wants, whether both on kind of performance and results. Also, not getting yet the good performances from Raspadori and Scamacca, and not always playing them actually. So I think he's taking time to settle with the new team, which actually fits perfectly to his methods. He was last year promoted to Serie A with Empoli, and everybody was waiting to see him. And well, I don't know if it's gonna click soon, because it seems to me strange that Raspadori is not performing. Sometimes he's not playing, and this guy has just been European champions, So okay, he was on the bench, but you are 21. You had a great end of last season, second half of last season, that gained you the call up to the Euro team, even if you are 20, and they don't find a place for you in the team. It's strange. Genoa got a very limited squad, very, very limited, very, very limited. Sometimes I read the Genoa lineup, and seems to me the FIFA lineup when they had not the rights to write the proper name of the players, and they were just playing fake names. Really, they have Cambiaso with one S. They had Callon, but it's not that Callon. It's crazy when you read the timeline. Hassan Bouyad is saying, Tan, your voice is doubled. No, Hassan, is that being the god of odds that is coming from the sky, so you hear it with the echo. For this, very bad defending from Genoa, and Sassuolo that anyway is not balanced yet. I go with the artist formerly known as Alex Classic here as well. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals.
I like it. Yeah, Tan is just a vessel, just a receptacle for the voice of God to flow on down, and then the words come out of his mouth.
Let's say of God of bad things. Let's not be carried away here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, again, I'm afraid I have to pass this one. It just doesn't look like a
game. You are the Barcelona of tips. You, Martin, are the Barcelona of tipsters. You always pass.
Well, Tan, I've passed 5, and I've got 5 plays out of 10 this time around. So I think that's a pretty good hit rate. Definitely the Spain of tips. The Spain just love to pass the ball, don't they?
Yeah. You have the tiki-taka of tipsters. Okay, let's define them. You have the tiki-taka of tipsters. Always passing.
I'll take that. Okay, next up, Empoli versus Atalanta. I'm not passing this game. I'm going for Atalanta to win it and over 1.5 goals. I think it's about time Atalanta get their season together. Remember the sort of style of football that they like to play. Coming up against an Empoli team that I haven't been particularly impressed with, I can see a reasonably high-scoring game, and I can see Atalanta prevailing. What do you think about this one, Tan?
If the odds would be better, I would go straight with Atalanta to win. They were Vlad Nastase is saying never bet on games that Martin passes. Word of the wise. Check the ones on which he was not betting in Serie A in the last weeks and the one where I bet. Anyway, Ibra Sanchez saying Empoli Atalanta way to win is my banker. Could be the right one. Just the odds are too low, in my opinion, to be suggested. So the whole Atalanta squad is been on international duty. And in this, they also missed. They are going to miss Jim City, who broke his arm and will be missing for 1 month. Plus, on Tuesday, they are playing Champions League, and I think they are playing at Old Trafford against Manchester United, obviously. So all difficult. Empoli, I don't share your opinion about not being impressive, because in my opinion they just don't have so much quality, and in spite of that they grab some more points than they should, that you were expecting them. Like Titus is saying, both teams to score. Then not only that, Lyle, but also I would say the artist formerly known as Alex Classic, so also the over 2.5 goals. Because anyway, Atalanta is always conceding. They find a way in the end, and probably they will recover Muriel back from the beginning. But they are far from being that machine they were last year. Not yet, that at least. So, yeah.
Interesting to note that they're one of just 4 teams not to draw a single game so far this season, along with obviously Napoli, plus Roma and Fiorentina. They're kind of an all-or-nothing team. And I just got a sneaking suspicion that this is a game Atalanta can win, even with a weakened somewhat starting 11. But we're going to move on to Napoli versus Torino. Very, very impressed with Napoli so far. They come flying out of the blocks. Can't stop winning. I'm expecting them to get the better of Torino in this one, Tan. But is Belotti going to come back from injury in time for this game?
Apparently, yes. Apparently, he's going to come back. But the thing is that the excitement in Naples is growing high, because you could expect a good start, but not expect 7 wins out of 7 after 7 games, and being the sole leader of the leader on their own of the table. If Napoli win the next, they will equal the all-time club record established by that epic Maurizio Sarri's Napoli. Everybody now is starting finally to believe in this team, because before there was a lot of skepticism in Naples, in Naples first. So I would say that, look, Torino are playing pretty good and much better than before. Juric is the guy, one of the most hated in Naples, because with his Verona last season, he was the one that drew 1-1 in the last game and prevented Napoli to qualify to Champions League, to let the most hated by them, Juventus, to go in. And Juric moved from Verona to Torino. But Napoli is very focused, and Spalletti is. And I have to tell you also, I have analyzed this break of 7 games until the next international duty in November, and Napoli got by far the best scheduling until November. So at the moment we are with Napoli that got plus 2 points over the second. I would not be surprised if in 3 weeks' time they would go on a break with at least plus 3 points over the second. So with more advantage. I think that here they will be super focused. So Napoli to be ahead, half time, full time.
Yeah, I'm going for the exact same bet, Tan. I already had it written down before you sent me them in, so it's great to see that we are singing from the same hymn sheet on this one. They've been starting games very strong. I just don't see that many weaknesses in this Napoli team. You know, you've got Insigne and Lozano either side of Osimhen. There's a lot of pace there, a lot of dynamism going forwards. Koulibaly marshalling the defence. They've got strength in depth. Okay, maybe there's a slight concern about Ospina in goal. Not, you know, perhaps the fullback Rui. I don't know. They're not an infallible team, but right now they're looking the strongest out of the bunch in Serie A, and their rivals keep faltering. So I think they've got a good chance. But next up is the team that perhaps are the most likely to overtake them before the end of the campaign. We've got Juventus coming up against Roma. Big game. I think the Juventus fans hate Jose Mourinho, don't they, from his time at Inter, and from the way that he would love to taunt the fans with all the times that he beat them to the title. So everyone's going to be keen to get the better of Roma in this game. I can see Juventus going on, maintaining their winning streak because they were starting to find momentum before the international break. So I think the odds on a home win look really good here, Tan. What do you think?
Totally. So, game of the week in a week that is pretty stuffed because we have already Lazio Inter. The biggest rivalry for Roma aside Lazio. Rivalry also for Juve, but not so important. Mourinho back to play against Juventus, and there has always been fireworks when he had been playing them, whether with Inter or with Manchester United. He's gonna be refereed by Orsato, who is the highest ranked Italian referee, but that twice already sent off Mourinho. But aside that, we have a team that is playing bad, but that is restoring confidence game by game, which is Juventus. Allegri is not doing anything special, but he's saying, you know what, let's not concede anything. Let's stay very tight. Let's play on counter-attack. Let's win in the end these games. The game is lasting 90 minutes. Let's stay focused on not conceding goal and trying to pick a goal when we find it, like they did against Torino, for example, in the derby. Against Chelsea, they were similar. So I think that Juventus will concede the ball and the majority of the pitch to Roma again, just to surprise them. Roma got one issue, that Tammy Abraham left with an injury the game against Hungary. Apparently, it's an issue with the ankle. Probably it's not a serious one, but anyway, enough bothering to make him lose Juventus-Roma, to make him miss Juventus-Roma. And without Abraham, it's a different Roma.
I did read somewhere that he's hoping to be back just straight away in time for the game, but that might be wishful thinking.
If he's back for that, it's going to be a risk.
Yeah.
And for sure, he won't have trained properly for that game. That's for sure. So, let's see. Anyway, Roma are so shaky at the back. But it's not a matter of defense. It's a matter of how the whole team is defending, which is pretty weird for Mourinho. It's not that kind of issue you would expect from a Mourinho team. I think still many things have to go in place. When Mourinho can play on a counter, is more comfortable. I think here it will be different because Juventus will push them to take the ball. Juventus, anyway, will have to deal with missing probably all their South American players, not Dybala, because Dybala was not called up, but all their South American players that left on international duty, because they will be back probably among 24 and 48 hours before the kickoff. This game is playing on Sunday. So probably Allegri will just go on a 4-4-2, concede nothing, and grab the win when you can, when Roma will concede you a chance, and Roma will concede you a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Juventus are already 10 points behind Napoli. They can't afford any more slip-ups. So
yeah, exactly.
It does seem like a must-win game for them, and I think they should have just about enough quality and composure to grind out a win. So I'm with you. I'm on the home team there. Final game, it's the Monday game, Monday night in Venice. Venezia versus Fiorentina. And Fiorentina have been in terrific form, Tan. I know they lost just before the break, but you can excuse that. They're flying high in fifth. I've been impressed with them. They've been playing well. Do you think they can maintain it against Venezia?
That headline you gave to the game Monday night in Venice, I think it sounds perfect for a hardcore movie. Just perfect like that. Now, if it is an hardcore movie, I believe Fiorentina is going to be the porn star of this movie because they play so good. They've been quite unlucky. they have been so masochistic because they lost for the next month the Polish keeper Drągowski, who was performing very well, but a huge debate has blown out in Florence because during the international break, the president mentioned that Dusan Vlahovic doesn't want to extend his contract at Fiorentina, so they have to sell him. But many are questioning, wait, he still got 2 years of contract. What's the point to say that now? Wait for the summer and then just sell him. So it is to check also the reaction. But they're not going to play home. So incredibly, this could be actually a good advantage, not playing home just after the debate, that issue. The odds on Fiorentina are so good, even if they play away. I mean, playing away, and it's part of my top 5 picks. Has to be.
Okay. Yeah, all the Newcastle fans are saying they want Vlahovic to come to St James's Park now. Newcastle fans have just absolutely lost the plot. They want everyone. They saw Benzema scoring in the Nations League. They're like, right, let's get Benzema. We'll get
Wouldn't
him.
you be the same? Wouldn't you be the same?
No.
No? You got such owners that take over. Wouldn't you be the same?
Oh, I would be the same. I do feel there's a human rights issue there, but we won't get into that.
The problem is that if you have sold your soul to the devil, then just enjoy, because you already sold your soul to the devil. So obviously they want everything now. They sold the soul.
I just think they're getting a little bit carried away. I think they'll be there in a few years' time, but you can't just start signing Benzema and Vlahovic straight away. You need to step.
Just take the example of the first years at Manchester City. Do you remember?
Yeah,
they signed Robinho. They were close to Kaká, but it took them 2-3 seasons time to be reliable, to be consistent. At least they were standing names, and they were climbing position from 15 to 7, 5th. But then to be at the top, it took them at least 3 years. And I think it will be the same for Newcastle.
No, I agree. Anderson says that they're going to buy Pedri from Barcelona for $1 billion. Wow, imagine that. Irish John just says the weather's terrible in Newcastle and Tam would freeze there. Could well be. I lived in Newcastle for a couple of years and the weather is terrible.
What were you doing?
Journalism.
Really? Where? Tell me where?
I was studying. I did a degree at the university, Newcastle University, and then I studied with the Press Association, learning journalism there, and I worked on the Newcastle Chronicle for a little bit.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
So can you confirm that the nights in Newcastle are as depicted in Geordie Shore?
Yeah, the nights are exactly as depicted in Geordie Shore. Monday night in Newcastle is like New Year's Eve in London. It's just people falling over. Like everywhere you go, there's like 10 women dressed as nurses, 10 women dressed as police women, and like loads of men falling over, and no one's really fighting or anything. They're quite a happy bunch, but there's just a lot of...
You're actually mocking me now?
What?
Are you telling me the truth, or you just fool me around?
No, there's all sorts of stag do's and hen do's and stuff there. So everyone goes, they all get dressed up. They have these...
About the being dressed, I know that there is a huge debate about being dressed and where, for example.
yeah, you can't wear clothes. It's a badge of honor to go out wearing.
You have to be naked in some way, otherwise you don't belong to the job. Exactly.
I would go around in a coat, and they would be like, "What is this guy doing? Take your coat off." Hassan says that I'm the British Clark Kent. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. But honestly, we've got 8 minutes, and we're going to be doing Bundesliga, so we're going to have to get up the official tips, please. I think we've got Esteban and we've got Zook. Team, please bring up the picks. Okay, I'm going for Lazio Inter. I'm going for the artist formerly known as Alex Classic at -115. I've got Milan to win and under 4.5 goals at -105. Atalanta and over 1.5 goals at -130. Napoli half-time, full-time at +120. And Juventus straight win -108.
Juventus straight win for me as well at -108. Obviously, it hasn't changed the odds, just swapping the line. Lazio for me it's a draw at +250. Fiorentina to win -110. Very good odds in my opinion. The 10 madness, draw half-time, Milan full-time, and then Napoli and another very good odds, half-time, full-time at +120.
Okay, thank you very much, Tan. Thank you to Esteban and Zook in the control center there. Thanks everyone for watching. Vlad says, don't forget the thumbs up, please, guys. Exactly.
Lyle got a very good one. Lyle is saying, so always bet against Newcastle on Monday night games, you say? That's a very good one.
Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, Lyle, it's like that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's no respite from it. I would come out of the cinema at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, and there'd be drunk people falling over in front of me as I was walking down the street. It's just crazy, honestly. It's a great place, though.
There is no underwear used on any nights.
No underwear allowed. Okay. Thanks, guys. We're going to see you in about 6 minutes for the Bundesliga. So please don't forget to join us there. And subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Tan.
I have one question. How can be that it's only the two of us and we've been talking for 54 minutes? How can be?
Definitely not because of me, Tan. Definitely not because of
I bet. Okay, the bet for the next Bundesliga show in 5 minutes is we will be able to keep it within the 30 minutes time. The 30 minutes clock. It's the meeting in 5 minutes. The bet.
Challenge accepted. All right, drink your quick Jamesons, guys. Quick Jamesons, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Bye.